Do it, Thunder.
Kevin Durant,
MVP.
Russell Westbrook,
MVP.
Kevin Durant had dinner and literally looked Russell Westbrook in the face and told him, I'm not leaving.
Shot clock to 5. Harden for 3, yes! Westbrook does. Durant for 3. Bang! The 2 for the Thunder. Westbrook. Oh, he's stripped by Leonard. What a play!
The basketball gods don't usually hand out miracles, but in Oklahoma City, they dished 3 in a row. First came Kevin Durant, a rail-thin scoring prodigy drafted by the Sonics in 2007 and whisked to OKC when the franchise uprooted a year later. 12 months after that, the Thunder plucked Russell Westbrook, an explosive blur who didn't even start in college. At number 4, stunning draft analysts who thought he was a reach. As if lightning hadn't already struck twice, Sam Presti rolled the dice again in 2009 and landed James Harden, the lefty tactician with a beard and a bag of tricks no rookie should own. By the time Serge Ibaka arrived from the Congo pipeline, OKC suddenly had 4 future All-Stars under 23. The early returns were rough. Durant's rookie season ended with just 20 wins. Westbrook's debut produced a league-leading pile of turnovers. Fans saw flashes, KD's effortless pull-ups, Russ detonating at the rim, but the win column stayed stubborn. Then came the jolt, a 27-win leap in 2009-10, capped by a 6-game scare against Kobe's Lakers. The children were growing up fast, and they were fearless. By 2012, the Thunder weren't a feel-good story, they were a problem. Durant's scoring title, Westbrook's rim-rattling swagger, Harden's six-man sorcery, and Ibaka's shot-swatting patrol pushed OKC all the way to the NBA Finals. It felt inevitable. Those finals were painted as the league's next dynasty taking its first bow. But beneath the confetti-colored projections, cracks spidered through the locker room. Westbrook's fiery outbursts, like the infamous timeout blow-up in Memphis where he barked at Thabo Sefolosha and waved off Durant's calming hand, hinted at a tug-of-war over control. Harden's looming payday lurked in every post-game hallway. Durant, still soft-spoken but fiercely ambitious, wondered if the young Thunder could really share the oxygen long enough to win it all. They didn't dwell on it. There was too much adrenaline, too many highlight reels, too loud a crowd roaring inside Chesapeake Energy Arena. Yet every dynasty starts with a honeymoon phase, and honeymoons always end. James Harden walked into a negotiation expecting a max. The front office slid a paper across the table. $4 million shy of max, with a smile that said, "Hey, everyone else sacrificed." Harden read the number, felt the bruise to his ego, and left the room already picturing life in a different uniform. $4 million, spread over 4 years, might be lunch money in NBA economics, but it detonated a dynasty. Presti shipped Harden to Houston for draft picks and spare parts, and just like that the league's most dangerous trio became a duo. Durant tried to sound optimistic. Westbrook doubled down on bravado. But every practice felt lighter, like the oxygen had leaked out. The basketball gods tested them immediately. In the 2013 playoffs, Patrick Beverley's reckless swipe caught Westbrook's knee. The meniscus tore, and Russ vanished from the court with a scream no teammate can unhear. Durant's eyes hardened.
With the season on the line and the Thunder on the brink of extinction, Kevin Durant looked like he had the weight of the world on his shoulders. And while we're used to the guy making Superman-like plays, he has clearly found his kryptonite in the Memphis Grizzlies. KD hit only 5 of 21 shots for 21 points.
And we fought every single game. Every one of these games came down to the last few minutes. And it was unfortunate that we didn't come out on the winning side.
Surgery after surgery kept Westbrook a spectator for half of 2013-14, and Durant responded with perhaps the purest scoring season of the millennium. 32 points per game, nights of effortless flame where the ball felt magnetized to the net.
The injury report for the Thunder, none. In the starting lineup, Russell Westbrook. His first game since Christmas Day, following the 3rd knee surgery within a year.
To outsiders, it looked like poetry. Inside the team, it felt like triage. Russ would return and instantly push the throttle to the floor. Durant would recalibrate on the fly, and the wins would come. But trust frayed a little more with every forced possession, every silent plane ride. The 2014 MVP trophy glistened in Kevin Durant's hands, yet the celebration barely cooled before fate inverted the script. 10 months later, Durant's right foot cracked, a Jones fracture that needed 3 surgeries and wiped out most of his season.
NBA's MVP has a foot fracture. He'll need surgery, likely out 6 to 8 weeks.
Russell Westbrook responded the only way he knew: volcanic. Triple-double after triple-double, reckless drives that left defenders spinning, snarls that felt like battle cries. In a 49-game blitz, he averaged 28-8-8. Summer brought hope packaged as change. Coach Scott Brooks was out. Billy Donovan arrived preaching ball movement and the 1-to-3 pick and roll that would splice Durant's shooting with Westbrook's ferocity. For 6 months, it looked like chemistry class finally clicked. The Statch brothers' front line, Steven Adams and Enes Kanter, bruised opponents. Serge Ibaka stretched floors with a newfound corner three. 55 wins, second-best offense, and, critically, a locker room that laughed more than it glared. Then came the 2016 Western Conference Finals against the record-breaking 73-win Warriors. Through 4 games, the Thunder smothered Golden State, racing to a stunning 3-1 lead. Durant splashed daggers. Westbrook devoured loose balls like a middle linebacker.
I'd expect Russell Westbrook to be this dominant, and he is. He reminds me of what Kobe Bryant once said about him when he said he's the only dude in the league with my DNA.
Game 5 slipped, but their confidence held. Game 6 in OKC, however, cracked open every insecurity they'd tried to bury. Klay Thompson detonated for 11 threes, yet the wound was self-inflicted. 6 turnovers in the final 8 Thunder possessions. 4 by Russ, 2 by KD, each one a jittery decision louder than the last. They'd spent years defending each other from critics who chanted too much ISO, and now isolation was strangling them on national TV. When Game 7 unraveled with a 29-12 third quarter, the dynasty dream bled out quietly on hardwood splinters in Oakland. The loss hurt, but the aftermath bruised deeper. Durant studied Westbrook's high-risk possessions and saw chaos. Westbrook replayed Durant's fourth-quarter hesitations and saw doubt. Neither spoke it aloud, yet every silent glance screamed, maybe we're holding each other back. And in July, that unspoken doubt would explode. Not in another turnover or blown lead, but in one stunning decision that painted a target on Durant's back and branded Westbrook with a single sugary insult. July 4, 2016, fireworks exploded across the United States, but the loudest boom came from a Players Tribune headline, "My Next Chapter." Kevin Durant was joining the very team that had just ripped his heart out, the record-breaking Golden State Warriors. Thunder fans refreshed their phones in disbelief. Russell Westbrook's screen lit up with a lone text from KD that landed minutes before the news broke. 8 seasons of brotherhood ended with a thumb-sized goodbye. Westbrook's reply wasn't words, it was sugar. He posted a tray of red, white, and blue cupcakes on Instagram with the caption, "Happy 4th, y'all." Inside OKC lore, cupcake meant soft, a playful jab Kendrick Perkins once lobbed at timid teammates. Now it doubled as Westbrook's verdict on Durant, a superstar who ran from the grind. The pettiness escalated. Nike dropped a serene goodbye ad for KD.
Some run, some make runways.
Durant called the Warriors a real family. Russ smirked, "That's cute." Then came a Rolling Stone interview where KD downgraded their bond to work friends, erasing years of brother talk with a swipe of casual indifference. Early November, the league circled Warriors Thunder on the calendar. Westbrook arrived at Oracle in a tan vest, hat, and camera slung around his neck. Full paparazzi cosplay, trolling the hobby photographer Durant. It didn't save the night. Golden State crushed OKC by 26. KD torched Russ 39-20 and jogged off stone-faced while Westbrook barked, "I'm coming," to anyone within range of his volcanic lungs. Round 2 in January was worse. Durant poured in 40. Enes Kanter tried small talk with his former teammate. Westbrook snapped, "Don't say what's up to that dude." Cameras caught every syllable. The real powder keg ignited February 11th, Durant's first game back in Oklahoma City. Chesapeake Arena glowed blood red. Fans held up cupcake posters and booed each Durant touch like a rock concert gone feral. Mid-third quarter, Andre Roberson hard-fouled KD, and Russ stomped toward half-court, spitting rapid-fire challenges. Arms flailed, words flew, officials separated bodies. Yet again the scoreboard belonged to Golden State. When the buzzer sounded, Westbrook had 47 furious points, Durant another routine 34, and neither offered a handshake. Cameras lingered on the tunnel where the two passed. Eyes forward, jaws clenched, decades of hurt compressed into 5 silent steps. All-Star Weekend was only a week away, and the NBA planned to seat them side by side in the West locker room. The Cold War was about to enter fluorescent-lit, camera-packed territory. Would either man blink? Durant sat at one end of the Western locker room, Westbrook at the other, reporters buzzing like mosquitoes between the two. To dodge every Durant question, Russ riffed about Paris Fashion Week, turning the media scrum into haute couture improv. Yet on the floor, instinct overruled ego. A back cut, a needle pass, a soaring lob. KD to Russ, Russ to the rim, the crowd losing its mind. 82 seconds of muscle memory. Then each retreated to separate corners as if the moment never happened, liking a comment that blamed Russ for his exit, then backpedaling with a sheepish, "my bad," slipped finger. His brother chimed in, amplifying the blame game. Every social media echo kept the animosity fresh, a drip feed of petty that never let the wound scab. On the court, their fortunes diverged. Westbrook detonated history with a season-long triple-double binge, snatching the 2017 MVP and screaming through the speech like a man still mid-sprint. Durant answered with the only rebuttal that stings more than hardware: Finals MVP, champagne showers, and confetti sticking to a Warriors jersey that still made Thunder fans see red. By 2018, the feud evolved into shade disguised as civility. Durant praised the 6'3" guy I used to play with, without saying the name. Russ, asked about KD's latest finals run, grinned and changed the topic to sneakers. Burner account rumors exploded. Every half-deleted tweet fueled the storyline. The NBA expected fireworks when OKC traded for Paul George and later Chris Paul, but nothing flipped the script. Westbrook piled stat lines. Durant stacked rings. They orbited the league like twin comets. Dazzling, distant, undeniably linked. Rivalries usually end with a buzzer or a banner. This one started melting on a podcast. In spring 2021, Kevin Durant leaned into a studio mic and, almost offhand, said the quiet part out loud, "I made that whole thing bigger than it had to be." The confession ricocheted through basketball Twitter. Westbrook didn't fire back. He just dropped a cryptic IG story, thumbs up emoji, nothing more. An answer that felt like, fine, water under the bridge. The ice cracked faster from there. By 2024, the beef tasted more like nostalgia than heat. They crossed paths on a college football sideline that autumn. Durant repping burnt orange Texas, Westbrook in UCLA powder blue. The handshake lingered, the smiles were real, and social media, starved for drama, settled for sentimental captions. Time heals. Insiders say the hatchet is buried but not forgotten. Competitive scars don't vanish, they just quit bleeding. And as new reports swirl about front office shakeups and looming free agency dominoes, one question lingers louder than the old trash talk. Could the former Thunderbolts actually share a locker room again? The rumor mill says yes. Free agency and reunion rumors. Phoenix's 2024-25 season ended in shambles. 36 wins, 46 losses, and a humiliating 11th place finish that left the Big Three experiment in tatters. Owner Matt Ishbia reacted like a man ripping wires out of a smoking console. First came the public firing of head coach Mike Budenholzer after just one season. The reset turned nuclear on June 22nd. At 5:07 p.m. Eastern, ESPN blared the headline: Kevin Durant to Houston in a blockbuster. The Suns shipped the 15-time All-Star to the Rockets for Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, the number 10 pick, and 5 second-rounders. An eye-popping haul that still felt light when you remembered Durant's resume. Social feeds melted. Draymond Green broke his own podcast silence to call it the spiciest plot twist since KD first left OKC. Ime Udoka, once an OKC assistant, welcomed Durant with a grin and a playbook already inked for a heliocentric scorer who still averaged 27 a night. Spanish daily El País dubbed the move to do o nada, title or bust. Russell Westbrook quietly declined his $3.5 million player option with Denver, choosing a fresh spin of the free agency wheel at age 36. Reports listed Dallas, Sacramento, and even a Nuggets return, but one rumor drowned out the rest: the idea of Russ joining KD in Houston for a Last Dance redemption tour. The longtime rivals turned begrudging friends now stand one phone call from a reunion, this time not in small market OKC but under Houston's blinding neon lights. If they share a jersey again, is it legacy repair? Or a rerun doomed to implode? Russell Westbrook's counters with raw electricity, a league record 4 straight triple-double seasons, an MVP, and highlight reels that feel like they're shot at 1.25 times speed. For a decade, their achievements have sat on opposite sides of a scale. Durant weighed down by the super team asterisk, Westbrook by the question, but did it win? Now the axis tilts to Houston. The Rockets just gutted their youth core to pry Durant out of Phoenix, swapping Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, the number 10 pick, and a stack of seconds for a 36-year-old scorer still dropping 27 a night. Early depth chart slot KD at small forward, flanked by Jabari Smith Jr. and a bench suddenly thick with veterans. A downhill guard who can puncture defenses when Durant draws traps. Enter Westbrook, officially an unrestricted free agent after declining a $3.4 million option in Denver. Nuggets want him back, yet every insider circles the same rumor. Houston is dangling its full mid-level exception for a one-year reunion tour. Reporters asked Durant if he'd lobby for Russ. He flashed that half-smile and said, "Doors open for real hoopers." The narrative rewrites itself overnight. Two once feuding titans, both nearing twilight, shoulder to shoulder chasing a ring outside the shadows of Golden State and Oklahoma City. Skeptics scream déjà vu. Too many turnovers, not enough spacing, egos waiting to collide. Optimists picture late career wisdom replacing reckless drives with controlled chaos. A partnership refined by scars. The stakes couldn't be sharper. Durant wins a title in Houston? The ring chaser label blurs into career alchemist, turning 3 franchises into champions. Westbrook lifts the Larry O'Brien at last? The stat-padding skeptic chant dies forever. Fail, and critics will say the Thunder's old wounds just reopened under brighter lights. Training camp opens in 90 days. Rockets cap space sits untouched. Westbrook's phone buzzes, and the city that once basked in Harden stepbacks now dreams of a louder, faster encore. So, buckle up. Will KD and Russ finally fuse talent and timing into one last thunderclap, or are we about to witness history loop back on itself in Houston's neon glare? The answer is coming, and it could rewrite both legacies in a single, deafening season.